Alrighty, hello everyone, it's Chaos, and this is the long-awaited, long-promised building episode of Vintage Story Modded. So, we start off real quick collecting an absolute crap ton of fired brown clay shingles. I spared you the footage of me making all of these, but in order to do so, I had to install a mod because my hands are not immortal. I ended up installing the Napster mod because, yeah, there's a lot of these shingles and it takes a long time to make them. Well, so what Napster does is it doesn't remove the time requirement to making these things or like knapping clay or to hammering metal, but it just automates the process for you. So you just hold down a button and it does the job, which is fantastic because there's no human way that anybody could have napped all of these shingles without their hand falling off. But yeah, so I'm putting a whole bunch of shingles in here, and I had a temporary big firing pit. There was a little bit of experimentation here, but yeah, so we're turning these into actual slanted shingle blocks, which is great. They look amazing. So the modder, using the brown clay that they added to the mod and using the normal textures from Vintage Story to make them work, did a really good job on these. So I do some slanted, I do some roof peaks, do some inner corners. And yeah, there's a fair amount of shingle making here. Like you can just see just how many individual shingles I had. And more shingle making, because you can never have too much shingle making. I get over here and I made some birch boards and we're making some sod roofing here. Because we need more roofing materials. We got a lot of building to do. Like a lot of building to do. So yeah, more building. So we're making sod roof ridges because you need ridges for a roof in this game. It's not just, I mean, you can just slap a flat block down if you want to, or you can build in the satanic version of even numbers, which if you're building in even numbers, you're just wrong inside. But here we go. First building. We're putting in a roof here. This is going to be a little cellar because we need a cellar for food storage. So I just go in here and manually randomize the floor blocks with a bunch of the basalt blocks that I have. And get in here and add some more roof beams. And I go in the room here and grab my adze, which is a primitive tools, an ancient tools tool for stripping bark from logs. What's great is with pine logs, it gives you actual pine bark, which can be turned into bread. You can make pine bread out of it. You can also use like oak logs and use the bark from them to make the tannin for tanning hide and stuff. You're not going to see any of that in this video. I did do all of that, but this is just the building time-lapse video. So I will do my best to add in all the other stuff outside of the building into another video. Yeah, we put some walls in here with some dark mud brick. Just very something simple. Like this is a very easy, simple building. We're going to put our sod roof on and have some weird things where like the block thing pops up weird like that. I can't figure out what's happening with that. Yeah, so we put our sod roofing on. You see that happens again with the weird little cross that comes up. And I try to do the thing that I like to do when I was playing other block game and invert the panel. You might be able to do that with a wrench, but I did not have a wrench at this time. Or at least if I did, I don't remember where I put it. It's probably hanging on the wall, and I'm just dumb and not thinking. I didn't discover how useful wrenches were until later on. Because you can actually rotate all the blocks with a wrench, which is amazing. Eat your heart out, other block game. It would have saved me time here because I accidentally put a roof ridge on in the wrong direction. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have a wrench at that point, so it's probably around somewhere. I don't know. I have too many chests. Well, in this case, at this point, too many barrels. One thing I do here, just fill in that top spot with some dark mud brick. And I believe we come in here real quick and we make shelves. Because shelves are awesome, and we need places to store things in our cellar. So you can actually place like 4 individual items on each of these shelves. So like 4 crocs, 4 pieces of bread, eventually cheese making. You could place raw cheese on there and it'll age, which is really cool. And now we get in here to tearing down our fort of safety that we found moving to this area in between the two rivers. So yeah, it's a big building and it takes a long time to tear down. So I'm going to shut up and let you guys enjoy this. Actually, I kind of take that back. I don't shut up for very long here because I have all my spears. All my obsidian spears that I made when I was fighting the itinerants. I throw them all down here, and then it takes me so long to finish deconstructing this building that they ended up despawning on me. So give an F in chat for our obsidian spear collection. We loved it. It was very useful, but it will never be seen again. Rip the obsidian spear. So yeah, we just keep tearing this building down. This is a lot of building material here, and a lot of it gets used. But yeah, we just come down here so often, collect the pieces, kill any stray drifters, and just keep going. So I suppose I could actually use this time to explain why this video took so long, honestly. One, I've been crazy busy real life-wise. I just, work a full-time job. I have a house to take care of, I have an apartment to take care of. I got my relationships outside of work and video making. But I also, like an idiot, somehow managed to record 7 hours of footage. Yeah. 7 hours. For the life of me, I don't know why I thought recording 7 hours of footage to sift through later and build a coherent video out of was a good idea, but I did. Like a dummy. Yeah, that was not smart. I think that was definitely not smart. I'm gonna come empty the inventory here a little bit and make it to the pick because we broke one. So yeah, I prepped a fair amount of pick heads. I removed pretty much all the blacksmithing from this because there's a lot of tools that get destroyed throughout the course of these builds. Like, just so many tools. It's ridiculous. Okay, we're getting down to near the end of the bottom of this guy here. And I have a gnat flying in my face as I'm recording. Thank you, summertime in the south. I think for a little bit I leave the last 2 layers, or maybe at least the last layer. I can't remember exactly. It's also been several months since I recorded this. Oh, I am the worst. I apologize. But hopefully you guys could forgive me and we'll keep watching. Like, amazingly, the subscriber number keeps going up. So you're all insane and I love you. But yeah. We'll get back to some vintage story content here. There's been some interesting stuff coming for the 1.20 previews. I think it's 1.20. Yeah, 1.20 previews. They're adding mounts and boats, like proper boats, not just rafts. Yeah, and the mounts will actually have like portable storage and stuff on them. It's gonna be awesome. So, looking forward to doing some updates and getting all my mods up to date because the From the Golden Combs dev has come back. Oh, here we go. We finished tearing down most of that building, and we're going to build our next building. This is our smithy. It's going to be where we're doing most of the smithing work from the future on, at least for the time being, until we either outgrow it or need a bigger building or something to that effect. I come down here and I grab some of the dendrodrist. Dentrist? I don't know. It's basically glass. That comes from basically the Elven mod, the plant materials mod. And that's windows in because, windows are useful. There's nothing wrong with some windows. And I'm just sitting here just manually rotating through blocks on my hotbar. If anybody wanted to be a absolute epic tier human, make a shuffle mod for Vintage Story. I don't know, maybe I'll figure out how to do that. I'll I'll go look at how Trixon did it for Java Minecraft and stuff, and see if I can do that in C#. I think VS is coded in. But yeah, we just grab another piece of Dendrist, I think. And we put our block back in for the door, because I like doing that. I don't discover till later that I can make 3 tall doors. So we might eventually end up replacing all of these with actual 3 tall doors. And I think I can do stuff with chisels and doors and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot to this game, and with all the mods I've added too, like, there's really no telling for sure. But yeah, so we get the outside shell of our build here done. And come in here and grab some more materials. And what in the world am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm digging up the floor. Yeah, because we got to put a floor in. So we grab more of all this various basalt that we have. And we'll put some floor in here. And, you know, more manual randomizing. Like, I just throw down a few blocks, scroll randomly on my hotbar, pick a different one. And then we're going to make some planks. And we're going to put a small little section of, you know, wood floor in here, too. Because, you know, why not? And this was before I discovered how wrenches work. Or if I even had a wrench, I can't remember. And we put some of that brown clay roof tile on. Give you a hint. This gets replaced later on with sod roofing. Because I end up moving all of these brown clay roof piles to another build. A much bigger build. So, yeah. Nope, and it fell off the roof. I do that a lot. I don't know if, like, holding shift works as well as it does in other block game. But it doesn't seem to sometimes. Like, I don't know if the hitboxes are weird or if it's intended to not constantly hold you down and everything. But it's really weird. But yeah, so we're going to put some slanted brown clay roofing on here. And my thought process of this was, you know, it's like, hey, we're going to be forging in this building. That's a lot of heat. You know, we don't want to put like a straw roof or something on here. That would catch fire. So, you know, a little bit of that realism factor. And then I just eventually swap it out for sod roofing. And I put the wrong block on here. And yeah, we put our topping on, our ridges. And there we go. We have a sealed in building. And once we put a door in, it actually does count as a house. As you can see, the little tracker in the upper left there updated. And yeah, so we're going to come in here. We're going to empty out this chest. And we start moving things. So I move all of these tools into the smithy because it's just a very convenient place to have them all. So we grab all our living like plant racks or grown tool racks as they're called and move them all in here and get that going. It just helps to have everything in a single location. That way I'm not running back and forth as much. And since we're tearing down the building where we were storing things anyway, might as well do it. But yeah, anyway, back to why this took so long. It's just, you know, it's like it was a lot of footage to sift through, and it's kind of daunting and mildly terrifying. Like, it's a lot of footage. Like, just an insane amount of footage to go through. So we're just gonna finish tearing down here. And I do this off camera, I do dig this out and get all of the basalt, because there's a lot of ruined basalt underneath this building. And we just gather up all the material because it's free building material. Like, I don't have to craft any of this. So I just have a crap ton of basalt building materials. There we go. Oh, and here we go. This was a suggestion in the comments. I'll put the comment on the screen here of replacing this thatch roofing with sod roofing. And I told that person when I replied to their comments that sod roofing was coming in the next episode, and I'll be damned it's here in the next episode. There you go. I don't remember your name off the top of my head as I'm doing this voiceover, but you are very welcome, and thank you for the idea. Sod roofing is way better. We just did not have the technology when building this building originally. So yeah, sod roofing is here. And it looks so much better. I don't know if like Tyron or the VS devs ever like watch people's videos on this game, but thatch roofing needs a glow up. Like it looks bad. Like it really does look bad, my dude. Like it's I get it. It's thatch roofing. It's supposed to be cheap and meager, but it looks low res compared to like sod roofing, if that makes sense. Yeah, just do that here. Take the edges off so we have a framework to build with. And just jump on the roof and we just keep going. Just tear this thatch out and replace it all with sod roofing. So, yeah. There you go. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Burning up an axe. Burn up a lot of tools. God. I used so many tools that I think at the current point I'm at in the world, I'm out of tin bronze. Like, I'm reasonably sure I am out of tin bronze and have had to regress back to the Copper Age. Which is insane. So yeah, pick up all the thatch here, and yeah, we get to do some digging here, and this is a garden expansion. We need more food. Like, we need all the food. So yeah, I'm digging out a huge chunk of garden here. And play with a new mechanic, well, not a new mechanic, but a mechanic that comes from the Primitive Survival mod, which is irrigation. As we get this done, so yeah, we're gonna burn up a tin bronze shovel here. And pretty sure we burn up a couple of copper shovels too. I can't quite remember. Yeah, there's a lot of shovel burning here. It's kind of ridiculous. And a lot of dirt picking up. This is all low quality dirt, so I don't think I worry about too much of it, and eventually replace it all with medium quality dirt. Yeah, we're digging it out here, and just leaving a barrier there between us and our little stream. Yeah. It's pretty great. This was a lot of fun to do all of these projects. I just overdid it. Like, I definitely overdid it for this video. Like, I spent about an hour one day off camera. Well, technically it's on camera. It's in some clips, but hunting for bees. So I think at some point you'll see beehives pop up. I might have clipped all of that out, but you'll see bee skeps pop up, and we're gonna eventually use those to expand into the golden combs and get the Langstrom hives and stuff like that. Because I'm reasonably sure that the mod maker fixed a lot of the issues here. So it turns out a lot of the hitching in 1.19 was from golden combs. So the mod maker fixed a lot of that. Well, supposedly fixed it. I haven't tried it out yet, just because I haven't had time to really play VS. So I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. Because if anybody knows, Final Fantasy XIV has its Dawn Trail expansion. It's a big 7.0 expansion that starts a brand new storyline. And graphics overhaul and stuff, and I am beyond excited for it. So I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. Like, so much Final Fantasy XIV. And yeah, so that's taken a lot of my free time. And that's part of the reason I just haven't gotten this video out until now. So, hope you guys could forgive me. But Final Fantasy XIV is kind of my favorite game in the world. So yeah, we're gonna dig out right here and expose the farmland that we built here into the actual water. And unfortunately, I spend so much time walking over all of this dirt that I start to make it into paths, and you can't till paths. So it becomes a bit of a problem here. Yeah, so we get into the tilling, and we got tin bronze hoe. This tin bronze hoe does not survive. That is how I discovered irrigation. That is how I discovered the primitive survival irrigation. I accidentally double tilled and made an irrigation spot. There we go. There's a path. Can't irrigate. Can't till that, which is irritating. Tyron, it's dirt. Let me till it, please, buddy. Like, come on. Like, I know I'm using a mod that's making the paths as I walk, but it's still your block. Let me till it, bruh. Please. Like, much rage. Like, please, let me till dirt paths. We good? All right, thanks. So yeah, more tilling. Making a big farm here. Not big. It's about the size of our other one, but it's just going to be actually like properly planned and organized rather than just, oh god, I need to farm. having grass pop up here because that's what the game does, you know. Grass grows and then actual grass blocks grow on top of the actual patchy grass and stuff, and it's mildly irritating. Especially because this literally happened over the course of a night. Like, I went and slept and then came back and the field had grown up this much. That's probably a setting that I can control somewhere. Speaking of settings, I still need to go and enable cave-ins because somehow, as I found out in a comment, despite me clicking yes on enable cave-ins, it didn't actually set in episode 1. So I still haven't actually fixed that just because I have not been doing really any caving. So yeah, as soon as we get around to doing actual caving, we'll do that. But here we go. We get the irrigation. So this is basically, it's functionally irrigating the water, the land around it, but it provides a consistent water buff to the blocks around it. So yeah. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh yeah, more hose. So I used the Legendary Tools mod. I think I added that. I saw that on Rusty Gears. So I added that, and when you make something, excuse me, when you make something, you can drop it on the ground, and the mod will process it and be like, oh, let's give it a random buff. So usually you get something like a rare copper hoe or something that's got slightly more durability. Had a weird issue here. I decided to remove those 2 blocks that were at the end, and it sealed the irrigation path rather than opening it. So that was really weird. So I had to like dig up a block and replace it. And we come in here, we'll grab some food. I think. What am I doing? I was looking at something. Probably trying to get seeds or something. Yeah, we got chopped up some glitter melons right here. Just chopping the things that are harvested. So glitter melons are a pretty cool food. Oh yeah, we need to start planting. So yeah, we get a few seeds there. Start planting some glitter melons. I do think I, at this point, have that field mostly full of actual plantables. I legit haven't looked at it in like 2 months. There we go. We add some irrigation to our actual field here because there's a lot of like ground that's not properly hydrated just because the Minecraft hydration trick of dropping a block in there doesn't really work that well. The interesting thing about these irrigation channels is they can get blocked with debris, and you actually have to go and manually clear out the debris. Which is pretty neat. It's irritating, but it's neat. You know, it's more that like everything in Vintage Story is harder. So, and we put a fence here because not that we have too many rabbit problems, but you don't want rabbits getting into your crops. Like you will go having a field of crops to losing it all to one rabbit. It's silly, but we dig all of this back because we just don't want to give them any space to jump into here. And they don't do well with water, which is why we leave the front open. Like, rabbits are tiny; they don't do well with water. But we don't really have much rabbits. I did install a animal interactions mod that allows the animals from different mods to interact with each other. Not that we have too many other animal mods besides like the More Critters and the Aurochs from Medieval Expansion, but you get the idea. I might add in some of the ancient animal mods, like you can get like saber-toothed tigers and stuff, just to have more things in the world, and you know, more things for food. Like, food is important. And I paused the game there for a second there, and good job editing me. Like, thought you missed all of those pauses. And now, the latter half of this video is the big build of the episode. It is effectively a big, like, Viking-style mead hall. So it would be where the Jarl of the village would, like, host his thing. So if you ever watch Vikings, not that it's 100% accurate representation, because we don't really know much about Viking culture, like, because they didn't write, like, they left runes. But the Jarl would always have like his mead hall, so that was like his place, and that was where everybody would go and do their things. We built a really large mead hall here and used a lot of wood, so I went and cut a lot of wood here. I think this is all pine still. Yeah, this is all pine still, which is great. Like, pine is a very abundant log, so we used a lot of pine. And I'm just doing my little trick here where I just pillar up and try to jump to the next one and place a block in time so I don't take fall damage. And we're digging out a little bit of a area right here just to be like a I guess you'd effectively call it like a moisture barrier, but it's also just like a foundation. Like, because this is a big building, we build a foundation for all of these logs and everything, and I use some more of the basalt for it. For some reason, I decide to still do the whole like manual rotating of blocks through here, even though this is all going to be basically buried. Yeah, so we're planting in some more trees here because, like, hey, they stuck them down into the ground to make sure they were nice and braced. Because it's important. And I go and grab my straw bread and bring it up here so I can actually not have to run all the way back to the storeroom to sleep. And I have some tweaking here because I added the accessibility tweaks mod in. For everybody who commented that nighttime is really hard to see, I hope this helps. I use accessibility tweaks to remove the red tinge and to brighten the screen a little bit. And I end up liking it. Like, I generally remove a lot of the red tinge from just my own gameplay at this point. Like, because it makes the world look a little bit more vibrant, and I like a vibrant world. So we grab an ads here. We made a copper ads, or adsy. I don't know how to say. I think it's ads. But yeah, we're stripping these logs again because if you didn't know, when you're building with actual actual tree pieces, you want to strip the bark off. That way you don't have moisture problems or like bug problems. So you strip the actual bark off, and then in the real world you would actually like burn the base of the wood, just because that would make further prevents the moisture issues. We can't do that in VS, but we do that. We do what we can. So go for a little bit of a realism aspect here. There we go. So I'm putting in my randomized foundation, and I'm really bad at placing blocks very often. So I have my pick to where I just grab things. We just come here, do it a few times, place blocks, burn up some more of the basalt stash that we have, because we have a lot of basalt. And we do another layer of a log here. Just, more of it's just making the building sturdy. And I forgot a basalt block there at some point. Figuring out where I'm putting the door in, and I pause for a second. And you saw those stacks of blocks that we passed. Those are from the Stone Quarry mod. So I'll explain those in another video. I do believe I will. But those will be like an easier way to get actual stone to work with, because you have like 4 different types of chisels that you could take to those things. And you use wedges and your hammer, and you make it's like relieving the stone. So in VS, when you're harvesting stone, it breaks down into the pebbles. But if you can dig enough blocks away from another stone block, if you remove its anchors on all sides, you're relieving the stone, and you get an actual stone block out of it. This is kind of doing that, but making it into an item that you could place down and interact with and make different types of stone with. It's really cool. It's very neat. Alright, so yeah, we're running back here with our ads again. I thought I made a new ads, sorry. Another ads, or new ads, same ads, and we're going to strip off all of these and basically do our baseboards here for this structure section. I'm not good at words. So yeah, there's a lot of adding to this build, just because you want to strip all the logs. You don't want to leave bark on logs and build with them. It's that's just asking for rot, and you don't want rot in your build. So we're gonna pick up all the bark here, because as I mentioned, that is all useful material. I do a lot of that off camera. You might have mentioned it every time I walk into the cellar, but there is a grinding machine in there. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's a manual grinding machine that eventually, once we have power, can be automated by using rotational forces like gears and stuff. But you can use it to, rotate the machine. We use that to grind and make flour, or to make lime with. And yeah, it's really cool. Come in here, just collecting more of our pine logs, it looks like. And I come up here and realize that this is not tall enough. So I just literally undo the logs that I just placed. And we're going to add another block of height here, if I'm remembering correctly. Because I want this building to be big. Like, this is like the biggest building in the village, basically. So, yeah, so we're adding another block of height all the way around here. And we go and strip the logs. And pick up all the other logs that we left. Because we don't want them to despawn, because that's more pine logs that I have to go cut down if I let them despawn. And I can't remember if at this point that I discovered that shearing leaves is amazing. So, there we go. Plan some more accessibility tweaks here, just so you guys can see. So, yeah. Hope you're happy. Like, I know it's really dark in this game, but, you know, it's kind of just... The ambiance is meant to be dark. So, you don't want to always remove all of the darkness from the game, but I understand that by the time you factor in the vintage story dark and then the YouTube processing dark, that it becomes basically just unwatchable at certain points. So, I'm doing my best to fix that and make it better for you. You know, just picking up materials again. We do a lot of that. And yeah, more adzing, more bark stripping. Like, the way bark strips in this game, and I can't tell. I think it's like this in vanilla too, but the way bark strips in the game is just yet another improvement that VS has over other block game. Like, it's just consistently so much better. Like, so we're just fixing in the rotations here, because the idea of building with logs, you know, if you're taking a real life aspect, is you're not chopping a log up into 1 meter blocks and building with it. You cut down a tree and you build with it. Like, you layer the tree out at the right level, brace it up and everything. So I try, when I'm building with logs, to make it look more like I'm actually doing that. Just because I do like having, you know, a little bit of realism in my builds. Not an actual crap ton or anything, but just a little bit. Oh, I apologize for the sniffles. I woke up this morning and my sinuses chose violence. So, and I built out too far right here. So we just fix that up real quick. And did I run out of logs? Why did I leave that? Anyway, we come back to the day. I must have gone off to sleep. Like, again, we're just adding in more of these, you know, just your bog standard, hey, I'm building Viking, let me have sticky outy bits. Okay, you gotta have sticky outy bits if you're building Viking in block games. Like, it's just mandatory. Now we start doing the second level, which is going to just be like almost like the middle section here. So yeah, and I think I move it because I don't realize I don't like it where it was. So we're gonna move it up just a little bit, move it back 1 block. That way it's on the braced blocks, because it's all about leverage. There we go. We'll put in a brace across here like I did on the other side. Counting blocks here. And putting in the top level here. So I think the base floor is 5 blocks high, and then this section of the build is 4 blocks high. Just, you know, variation, I guess. I don't know exactly why I did 5 and 4. Probably just because this is higher up and there's not actually going to be much in the way of like a room up here, but we're going to have all the roof up above it. So it works. I think we're going to make it happen. There we go. We're just doing our log layering here. Of course, there's some places that realism kind of fails because in some places the log would not be braced. So, but you just you do what you can. Like, you try to do as much realism as you possibly can in a video game, or you don't, or you don't. Some people just don't care. Like, I like my builds to be like, hey, this would be mostly stable if it was a real thing. So, just do that. Come around here. We adds up some more blocks because we had to go make a new adze, I guess. This one's got much more durability to it. That is my, that's one of my gripes with VS, is the tools have no durability. Like, just no durability. They all have about the equivalent of a gold tool in fucking Minecraft. Like, and it gets a little tedious, but, it's just like, alright, well, this is what we do. Like, we gotta make our tools. We got more adzing. I hope you guys like adzing. The bark stripping is strong here. We strip a lot of logs. And... okay. I was worried that I accidentally left a long pause in the video there. I must have been talking to somebody on Discord as I was recording this, because there's a lot of pausing here. Thankfully, it's not long pauses, so we just won't worry about editing them out. They're fine, I think. And I fell off, so we gotta go back up here and keep working. I feel like I'm carrying around a bowl of rot on my hotbar right now. Not entirely sure why. There we go. Come up here and get the last little bits of adzing in. Another pause. Oh, yeah, I was definitely talking to somebody. There we go. I must have been talking to the lady. Put things back because we got our basic superstructure in. And I just gotta pick up all the bark because we don't waste the pine bark. We do not waste our pine bark. That is food. It's not great food, but it's food. Like, so I need to experiment with bread and stuff more. But yeah, it's pine bread. So there we go. We come back in and we're making planks. Because I decide we're going to do these walls out of oak planks. Heads up, I change it. I change my mind. You could tell I don't plan my builds. Like, in case you're curious, I do not plan my builds. I wing it, and I see what happens, and then things that I don't like get changed. Like, there's no planning. I look for inspiration. Like, I think I was looking at some Valheim, like, meat haul videos when I was doing these ones. Because there's not a lot of Viking builds in pretty much anything. Like, there's Minecraft Viking builds and there's Valheim Viking builds. And there's a couple of Vintage Story ones from Zarls. He does a lot of time-lapse building videos. And I ran out of planks with 1 block to go. we go. Got some more blocks to put in here. Just, just putting in differential places here just to make it look complete. And we start putting sod roofing on here. And I think this is where I get the idea that I'm not going to have enough sod roofing. I could be wrong. I might do the entire section of sod roofing here and then realize I just do not have enough sod or that it doesn't look right on such a big build. Not entirely sure. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, so I realized that sod doesn't look right for this build. So we tear down those, 15 pieces of sod that I put in here. And this, well, close to it anyway. Put the sod back. We grab these. So we grab our clay, our brown clay shingles again. We grab them all. I remember at some point I had an issue with a mod update and my chests in there. I updated the sortable storage mod, and it turned all my chests into uninteractable blocks and deleted their inventories. So I had to come back through video footage and take screenshots of every chest as I opened it and replace their contents. It was so irritating. So I gotta use some of those planks that I had to build up a framework for the brown clay roof pieces here. Apologies, I took a break in recording this for a moment to have a sandwich, and my body's just like, hey buddy, why'd you go and do that for? Did you really think that was a good idea? So we put a bracing in here because I want to carry on the logs that are going up the side. Eventually, once I have a reliable chisel and stuff from the chisel, the QP's Chisel Tools mod, I want to come in here and chisel the walls so they're a little bit thinner than the log sections, just so they're detailed. But that'll come later. I think at the time of this recording, I do have a steel chisel that I found because I was out exploring. And the chisel mod, I believe, it added it, but there was a little altar that I had found. And it was like an altar to chiseling. There was a corpse, there was a skeleton there. And it's clearly the skeleton of somebody who had spent way too much time chiseling. And it was just a little bit oh, and you go underneath it and there's a chest sitting in the middle of the room. And it's got a steel chisel, and I think it had a couple of Jonas parts in it. That's a really long pause to leave in the middle of the video there, Chaos. Come on. There you go. Good lad. Well, I talked through that once. We won't remove it, but it was an awkwardly long pause to leave in the middle there. Come in here. Boom, boom. Add in our log roof beam. Strip it, of course. I don't think you would necessarily, real life wise, have to strip logs that were up this high, but it's probably still just a good idea because of all that moisture. You may not have to at a certain height, but it probably doesn't hurt. There we go. Just getting all the bark. No bark left behind. Oh yeah, so this is where we go ahead and take the clay roof off the smithy building, and we're going to replace it with sod over here. I think I just probably decided that the smithy heat would not burn through a sod roofing. I guess, I don't know. Or maybe I just stopped caring about realism when I was doing this and just wanted these clay blocks because I need them for the other build. Could be wrong, I don't remember. But it looks good, and it standardizes these smaller buildings in this area. Oh. In other news, for everybody who hasn't noticed, just because I haven't uploaded a VS video in a while, we passed 500 subscribers with episode 3, and we've gotten up to, at the time of recording, 618. which means that I do have memberships enabled for videos for the channel now. There is a reward system to them. I'm still working on the badges because the badges didn't work the way I thought they would. So I wanted a different badge, like at least a different starting badge for each tier. Can't do that. You can only have one badge no matter the tier, which is meh. So I'm still working on the badges, but the tiers are like a smaller, low-cost tier, just like a couple bucks. You know, you're supporting the channel. And then there's a couple of tiers. There's one tier that is slightly more support, and then another tier that would give you access to a potential like Vintage Story multiplayer server that I would put up if we had enough supporters. And then there's the final tier, which is just like Giga Chad. Just basically like, hey, I got nothing better to do with my money. Like, you know, so here, guy that provides me entertainment. Like, take my money. So, I'm not expecting anybody to do anything, but I might see about doing like members only stuff, like maybe doing a members only series if I can find time. I've tried doing a few other things, like I did an abiotic factor video, which is like legally distinct Black Mesa, and it didn't really do well, so I don't know if there'll be any more of those. But right here, we're making some big 3 tall doors. And you use nails and planks, and you get a 3 tall door. And it's awesome. So, use aged woods for those. And you can see, at some point, I decided to remove all of that oak in the wall, and I started replacing it with dry mud brick. And I think I just ran out. So I think I ended up changing that out with something else again, I think. But I'm not entirely sure. And I don't believe this section of the video is going to have game audio. For some reason, OBS just did not record game audio on this section. On, well, like, the last 3 sections of the video here. I don't know why, and it makes me angry. It's very frustrating. So we're using those oak planks that we tore out of the wall to make the floor here. And this is where I discovered the utility of the wrench. And these little things right here, those are clay ovens. Those are like our next stage in cooking technology. It's how we bake bread. At some point in here, I add culinary artillery and expanded food. So I do have a clip of like where I'm baking berries. But they're also used for making quicklime. Or quicklime is how you make mortar. So that ends up being important. And you can see I finally figured out how to stand and place my blocks so the rotation doesn't screw me up. And the idea behind this building is a lot of like meat halls, you know, like they have big fire pits in the middle, which I'm probably going to do a fire pit in the middle. But there's also going to be sections where like servants would go and cook food. So that's what this section is over here. It's where the food preparation is done. So at some point, I do go and make a bunch of quicklime, and I go and collect, I want to say this is conglomerate stone? We'll see in a minute that I'm replacing these walls with. It's a lighter colored stone, but I was able to make an abundance of it. So we rip out all the dark mud brick here. I might actually just remove the game audio from the entire video just because it's all time-lapse. It's a little weird. Like, it's like... So... well, we'll see. Oh, man. Tell you what, if you guys have stuck around this long for this time-lapse video, make sure you mention it in the comments. These are granite blocks, by the way. These are granite ashlar blocks. So, that's what we're working with here. So we do granite blocks here, just because they look nice. So I made a bunch of lime and whatnot and made mortar. But yeah, as I was saying, if you made it this far in the video, put a comment saying I made it to the end. And tell me what you think. If you like the builds, if you don't like the builds. Well, if you don't like the builds, I mean, I don't really care. Like, no offense. I like the builds, so they're going to stay no matter what. But yeah, let me know whether you like the build or you like the video. Make sure you do click the like button. Click that subscribe button. And if you're feeling real kind and want to support my dream of eventually not working for the man And, you know, being able to live my own life and just make content has become my dream lately, because it's awesome and it's within reach. Click the join button and throw me some money every month. I love you long time if you do so. You don't have to. I'm still going to make content. This is still more a hobby than a job. But I'm not going to be against it making a job. I'm thinking of adding in a farm simulator series. Not sure. I don't know. I have it downloaded. I got it for free on Epic, which is pretty great. So I have it. It looks fun. I've watched so much farm simulator content in the last few weeks. It's just been like super chill just to watch while I'm working. So I watched a lot of like Formal Pickle and Farmer Marine and stuff like that. Just watching their videos for Farm Simulator. It's been really cool. I think I watched David Marks too. He did an off-grid build video, which was fun. Well, an off-grid build series, which was really cool in the game. So I watched all of that. So I think I might do that of my own. Yeah. Okay, not gonna lie, I got a little bit disoriented because I'm in DaVinci Resolve and I'm using the Fairlight tool, which does not show the video track as I'm recording. And I was just like, why am I not seeing any more audio? So we've hit the point now where there's no game audio. So sorry, I don't know why, but OBS decided it hated me. It's done that for a couple of videos. The Dash X Survivors video, it just didn't record my mic. So that's why that one was voiceover and short. I got another video that is already rendered and ready. It is a city builder demo from a Steam Next Fest demo. It's Beyond These Stars. You're building on the back of a space whale. Pretty cool. And it's a very fun, silly little game. I'm definitely looking forward to when it's coming out. But yeah, so we're getting some more roof in on here. I think I have enough blocks here finally to actually get all of this roof work in. And yeah, so the next video, oh my gosh, I am pausing a lot here. What is wrong with me? Tell you what I would love for this game is basically replay mod. If some enterprising mod developer could make replay mod for Vintage Story, you would be the most amazing person, and I would love you forever. I miss doing cinematic build videos where you're not just looking at my screen. Oh, speaking of which, as far as things that happened off camera, well, not in this video, as we've passed it a couple times while we've been walking around up here, but I have an aurochs pen, and I have another smaller pen nearby that has some chickens and some rabbits that I caught. I'm still figuring out how to deal with those, but the aurochs are breeding, and they do get food. So I got 2 cows and a bull in there. And I think at this point in the video they had bred and started and made a baby. I can't remember. So eventually we're going to build a barn. And we're going to figure out how breeding animals really works. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot of just insanity to the way you have to capture animals. There's no leads or hey, follow me, I have food mechanic like Minecraft has. You just have to punch them and make them angry enough to chase you. Yeah. You have to punch animals and make them chase you in order to get them to, follow you into a pen, which is really dumb. It's not my favorite thing about this game. I want an actual, trying to tame mechanic. Anyway, we get up here, we're putting in the walls on the second floor. Looks like I'm using aged planks. I feel like I have enough, I guess. So yeah, we use 3 different types of wood in this build, which is pretty cool. So we have some aged planks that we're putting in here, so I just keep nerd pillaring up. Never thought I would miss scaffolding. Legit, never thought I would miss scaffolding. So yeah, put that in. And what do I have up here? So yeah, we're gonna finish filling this in apparently. Alright. Yeah. Alright folks, and we're reaching the end right here. We're gonna finish filling in this section of wall, and this is as far as we make it on this build today. So I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, join. Love you long time. Peace.